to Srila Prabhupada. Today our topic is Kartik Parikrama Series, and this is the first of the Parikram series entitled Mood for Entering Vrindhavan. So before we enter Vrindhavan, we should have a right mood. We should set a right mood, a right tone of mood, so that we can enter Vrindhavan and get its full glory and understand the contents of what Vrindhavan is all about. So before we do that, I'd just like to sing a song in this regard by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. In the mood of humility. So this mood of humility is very, very important for entering Vrindavan Dham. So let's go on with the singing, and we can read the translation after that and explain. And also I have actually some verses taken out from the different scriptures regarding the mood of the very exalted devotees like this. So the song is by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, entitled Gopinath. Gopinath Mama Nivedana Suna Vishaya Dujana Sadakamarata Kichu nahi murakuna Gopinath Amar bharasa tumi Tumar churane Loin sarana Tumara kinkura ami Gopinath Ke mona sodhibe more Nachana bhakati Karma chadamati Purichi samsara ghore Gopinath Sakali tumara maya Nahi mama bhala Janasu nirmala Swadhina nahe kaya Gopinath 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 Niyata charane stane Magahi parama Kandiya kandiya Kurahe karunadhana Gopinath Tumi to sakali paro Durjana tarite Tumara sakati Ke ache papire aro Gopinath Tumi kripa parabhara Shivere karane Asiya prapanche Lila koile sabhisara Gopinath आमी की धोसे धोसे असुरा सकला पाइलो चराना विनोदत किल भोसे गोपीनाथ 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 गोपीनाथ. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So here is a very beautiful song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and we'll just read the translation of the song, where it says, "O Gopinath, Lord of the Gopis, please hear my request. I'm a wicked materialist, always addicted to worldly desires, and no good qualities do I possess. O Gopinath, you are my only hope, and therefore I have taken shelter at your lotus feet. I am now your eternal servant." So, dear devotees, we see that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is such an exalted devotee of the Lord, right? And here he is in his extreme humility. He's praying to the Lord in this way, and he says that he's a wicked materialist, always addicted to worldly desires, and he has no good qualities, right? So, what to speak of us, who are in this material world and coming to Krishna consciousness, right? We have, from so many lifetimes, we have been coming into this material world, into the birth of the samsara, the cycle of birth and death. And we have so much of contamination in the heart, and here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, "You are my only hope, and therefore I have taken shelter at your lotus feet. I am now your eternal servant. O Gopinath, how will you purify me? I do not know what devotion is, and my materialistic mind is absorbed in fruitive work. I have fallen into this dark and perilous worldly existence. O Gopinath, everything here is your illusory energy. I have no strength or transcendental knowledge, and this body of mine is not independent and free from the control of material nature." So we too, devotees, from time to time, we get caught up in the materialistic affairs of this world, and we are basically bound up by the three gunas: ignorant, passion, and goodness. We are bound up by these strong chains that are pulling us and tugging at our hearts. So we too, are not free from the illusory energy, and at any time, we can fall prey to Maya. So text stanza 5. O Gopinath, the sinner who is weeping and weeping, begs for your eternal place at your divine feet. Please give him your mercy. O Gopinath, you are able to do anything, and therefore you have the power to deliver all sinners. Who is there that is more sinful, that is more of a sinner than myself? So we see here that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's such an exalted devotee, but in his humility, he is, saying that he's actually the most sinful of the most sinful person, and you cannot find anyone more sinful than him. Now, devotees, we should not imitate this, and because here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is actually speaking out of his humility, right? And he's not faking it. We may say something sometimes, and we may fake it, "Oh, I'm so fallen," but we don't mean it, right? So, but here, this is a genuine cry of Bhaktivinoda Thakur that, "My dear Lord, I am the most sinful person. There is no one more sinful than me. So please save me." 7. O Gopinath, you are the ocean of mercy. Having come into this phenomenal world, you expand your divine pastimes for the sake of the fallen souls. O Gopinath, I am so sinful that although all the demons attain your feet, Bhaktivinoda has remained in worldly existence. So we see here that all the demons that Krishna kills attains moksha, right? Attains the lotus feet of the Lord. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I still remain in this worldly existence, although the demons get your mercy. This is how sinful I am. But we understand, from the books that Prabhupada has given us and from different acharyas, that actually Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's a very intimate associate of the Lord in the spiritual world, right? And he has come to this material world to actually give us Krishna consciousness. And it is by his endeavor, by his works, actually, that we have these great scriptures today. And he started basically, after Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Actually, one of his sons was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. And thereby they started this whole Krishna consciousness, spreading the glories of Krishna throughout the world, basically. Right, so we see that, how to enter into Vrindavan. Now we're going to talk something about how to enter into this divine realm of Vrindavan, this beautiful playground of God, as Maharaj very nicely puts it, His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, he's entitled one of his books, The Playground of God, Vrindavan, the Playground of God. So here we see that Srila Prabhupada, he basically, he says that actually one should, before entering Vrindavan, one should first take shelter of Mayapur Dham, right? And we see that in the early days, Srila Prabhupada first went to Mayapur before taking the devotees to Vrindavan. Mayapur is the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, and there you get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya before you can go to Vrindavan. So this is the mood of Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas as well, wherein Prabodhananda Saraswati writes, by worshipping the 9 islands of Navadvip, you're actually worshipping Vrindavan. If you don't worship Navadvip, then Vrindavan will remain far from you. If one worships Dvija Sutta, Lord Chaitanya, one worships Vrindavan. One who worships Lord Chaitanya is actually worshipping Radha and Krishna. If one doesn't, then Krishna remains far. So like this, Prabodhananda Saraswati, he mentions that one should first go to Mayapur or Navadvip, the 9 islands of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Of Navadvip. Navadvip, Nava means 9 and Dvip means island. So 9 islands. One should go there and take shelter of Lord Chaitanya before he can visit Vrindavan. So we see that in the humility of different devotees, like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 5205, it says, I'm worse than Jagai and Madai. I'm worse than a worm in stew. So this is his humility, such an exalted devotee, but he's saying, I'm worse than worm in stew, we can't even fathom, or we cannot even imagine, being a worm in stew. So, but here we see the Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He speaks with such, his lower than worm in stew. So we should try to develop this mood, that, I'm not great. And if we think that we are great, then how can the Lord actually assist us? We have to take the humble position. Like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shastastikam, he says, Trinadapi Sunichaina, Api Sahisnana, Amani Namani Dena, Kirtanya Sadahari. That one should think himself lower than the straw in the street, more tolerant than a tree, and devoid of all sense of false prestige. And that's when you can actually, this verse is actually the ornament of a devotee, because the ornament of a devotee are the qualities that he develops while practicing Krishna consciousness. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said we should string this verse across our neck so we do not forget this humility aspect, because only with humility can one enter Vrindavan Dham in the spiritual world as well. So we see here there's a nice verse wherein he says, Utvabhari Karikon, Sura Sarvaloka, Nama Sukhanti Bhara, Kanti Loka. Raising my hand, I declare, everyone, please hear me. String this verse on the thread of the holy names around your neck. If devotee thinks himself fallen, then the Lord can. But if he doesn't think himself fallen, how can the Lord help from this degraded materialistic? So we need to, think ourselves more fallen than the stone in the street, and more tolerance than the tree. In this way, when we think like this, then the Lord can have mercy upon us and pick us up from this abominable material world. We see that in the Pajavali, Rupa Goswami, text 61, there's a nice verse where it's drowning in the fathomless pool of material existence. To the verse from the Pajavali itself, if I can find that. I can't get it right now. But anyway, I'll just paraphrase the verse in which Rupa Goswami says, I'm drowning in the fathomless pool of material existence. O Lord of the Gopis, have mercy upon me. Just this one time, please extend your hand and save me. So we see here a Manjari in the spiritual world, and he is teaching us how to be humble, before we enter the Dham. And in 61, text 61 of the Pajavali, he says, the elephant of my mind, illusion, strongly held by the ferocious crocodile of the threefold miseries. It anxiously cries with fear in its heart, O Lord Hari, please rescue it with your glowing Sudarshan chakra, which cuts the suffering of the demigods to pieces. He was Vrindavan, he had the same mood, like of humility, so he can enter into Vrindavan. And he had strong conviction that Krishna will be merciful to him, because Akrura is coming from the city, he's coming from Mathura, right? And he was basically one of the managers in Kasa's camp. So in this way, he's actually praying to the Lord to be merciful to him, right? And the term used is Ashabanda, because I am doing my best to follow the four regulative principles. Krishna, please deliver me, right? We should think like this, we should pray like this. And the other verse that Rupa Goswami gives, I have no love for Krishna, or cause, namely, hearing and chanting. I do not even taste for chanting and hearing of the glories of the Lord. And the bhakti process, and the process of bhakti is all lacking in me. far as philosophical knowledge of works are concerned, I don't see any opportunity for me to execute such activities. At all, I'm not even born in a nice family. So I'm praying to you, Janavallabha, Krishna, Mahena of peace. I pray that somehow or the other I attain your lotus feet. This hope you're giving me, this hope you're giving me pain because I feel approach your lotus feet, right? Basically, humble and hopeful at the same time. He can reach Vrindavan and he can reach the lotus feet of the Lord. Now he's saying over here that he's not even born in a nice family, right? Because he was working for the Muslim government at that time, and their names were even changed. Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami to, their names were changed to Muslim names. And in this way, he says he's not even born in a nice family. Because of his humility, he's speaking like this. But Rupa Goswami is actually Rupa Manjari in the spiritual world. So we see that he's taking this humble position and he's praying to the Lord. So now, even Sanatana Goswami, when he approached Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he approached him with a straw in between his teeth, and because this is a sign of humility, and he asks the Lord, Ke Ami, who am I? I don't even know who I am. I have this big position as a minister, but actually I don't even know who I am. So my dear Lord, tell me who I am. Like this, Srila Prabhupada also, he says that as soon as one enters Vrindavan, he should smear the dust of Vrindavan all over his body without thinking of his material position of prestige. So, like this, we find that Srila Prabhupada also, he gives us the formula how to enter into Vrindavan Dham. So I thought that before we actually carry on with the series of the different pastimes of Vrindavan, let's take this into consideration to approach Vrindavan Dham in a humble position so that, we can speak properly and the hearers can hear properly. So in this way, we'll have the end of our Vrindhavan Parikram. So this is basically like a virtual Parikram that we're doing. And I will share in my next upcoming series of talks, I will try to share some pictures with you as well of the different places that we're going to go in Vrindavan. And in this way, we'll get a better understanding and a better idea of what Vrindavan Dham is all about. So we also see that Narottam Das Thakur also, he sings very nice songs, thriving humility. And one of the verses that he says is Vishaya taro ya kabe habe more man. That means that, where will my mind sees material addiction, and I can remember Vrindavan. So let me just see if I can find that verse. Okay. So yes, devotees, we should cultivate this because these divine qualities, right? An ornament for the devotee, right? So these the qualities are ornaments that a devotee has in order to attain the spiritual kingdom of God. So attaining humility, attaining tolerance, compassion, like this, all these very nice qualities are actually ornaments for devotee, and devotee can actually um, yes, and another basically another way of entering Vrindavan Dham is to glorify the devotees of the Lord, right? So we see here there's a nice song by Srila Prabhupada actually. I don't know the meter of the song, but I'll just read the Sanskrit and the translation. Vaishnavana dekhiya bhole Vaishnava niskira Vaishnava Prabhu sevaya sadhai sakira sakriya pranahina kanista se seva nahi kore pratistara torikta ke nirjana gore Vaishnava pranamya Srila Nityananda Marakai Premadeha Jata Tatai Chakrapani Gaura Hari Seta Korile Sasana Vaishnava Vidveshi Tabe Hoile Gamana. And the translation of this is, those who do not see real Vaishnavas say that Vaishnavas are inactive. In reality, the Vaishnava is always active in the service of the Lord. The lifeless Kanista Adhikaris or the low-class devotees don't perform any service. For reputation, they stay in a lonely place. Nityananda Prabhu, who is worshipful by the Vaishnavas, got hit by Jagai and Madai, but still distributed love of God one after the other. Bearing the Sudarshan Chakra disc, Lord Gaurahari came to give punishment. All the people who were haters of Vaishnavas were subdued. So this is so basically, we can analyze this verse, and what we try to think what Srila Prabhupada is saying here. Those who do not see the real Vaishnavas say that a Vaishnava is inactive. In reality, the Vaishnava is always active in the service of the Lord. So we know Srila Prabhupada gave us devotional service, and he's also given us the means to perform it by creating temples and deity worship and book distribution like this. So the devotees are always actively engaged in performing these duties, right? And those who are not Vaishnavas, they say that the Vaishnavas are inactive, that we only know to stay in the temple and chant Hare Krishna. That's all we do. But they don't know how much of service we are engaged in, right? And also when they see us on the street and they say, these devotees only know to chant Hare Krishna, that's all they know, right? But actually they don't know the benefits of chanting Hare Krishna and how much of, and it's actually a ticket back home, back to the spiritual world, basically, right? The lifeless Kanista Adhikaris, low-class devotees, don't perform any service. For reputation, they stay in their lonely place. So Srila Prabhupada said, no, we shouldn't stay in one place, but we should actually go all over the world and preach Krishna consciousness, right? He told us to his sannyasis, right? That you should go all over the world. Whoever you see, whoever you speak to, you should talk to them about Krishna. So, in this way, we are actually spreading the highest form of devotional service, to the highest form. We're actually giving people the spiritual world in their hands by book distribution, right? Nityananda Prabhu, who is worshipful by the Vaishnavas, got hit by Jagai and Madai, but still distributed love of God one after the other. So we see that the Prabhupada is giving the pastime of Lord Nityananda, who was basically beaten by Jagai and Madai, was hit with a pot for, distributing the holy names, right? And in this way, Lord Nityananda, he used to plead with them, roll on the ground, his Sankirtan was, go to a devotee's house, ask him to chant Hare Krishna. And if they didn't chant Hare Krishna, he would roll on the ground until, and break everything in the house until they chanted Hare Krishna. So this is his mood of Sankirtan, because he understood how the glories of the holy name and how powerful the holy name of Krishna is, that he used to do like this. So obviously we are not in his position, we cannot do like this, but at least we can go out and distribute the books of Srila Prabhupada, right? And give people Krishna consciousness, or go on Harinam, go and chant the holy names in the streets like that. Text 4, bearing the Sudarshan Chakra disc, Lord Gaurahari came to give punishment. All the people who were haters of Vaishnavas were subdued. So, when Lord Nityananda Prabhu was being attacked, then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with the Sudarshan, and he basically wanted to behead Jagai and Madan. But Lord Nityananda, being so merciful, he prayed to the Lord, my dear Lord, you haven't come here to this age of Kali Yuga to kill any demons, but you came to bestow upon them love of God by the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. So within the holy names is imbued the love of God, right, within the holy names. And we find that by going out and doing Harinam Sankirtan, we can actually give the people the opportunity to go back to the spiritual world, right? Even if they mockingly chant Hare Krishna, or if they are haters, and they basically chastise and rebuke the devotees, still they will get the benefit of chanting the holy names and going back to the spiritual world. So this is how powerful the name of Krishna is. So yes, devotees, when we go on parikram as well, we have the different kirtanias, right? They basically lead kirtan, like Bhadahari Prabhu, Madhava Prabhu, like this on our parikrams. And after they sing for around 2 to 3 hours, then we recite the pastime of the different places, or of that place that we went to and what Krishna did there, and then we have more kirtan, we have prasadam, and then we come back to the places where we stay. We're back to the temple like this, and we offer our lamps in the evening to Radha Shamasundar. This is in Vrindhvan, right? But we see now that devotees who are not going to Vrindavan, you can always come to the temple and offer a lamp to Radha and Krishna, Radha Radhanath, and in this way get the benefit of going to Vrindavan, right? So we should actually, during this month of Kartik, we know the benefits of Kartik, that whatever activities we perform is multiplied 1,000 times. So we should try to take certain vows and try to chant extra rounds as well. That's very important. Chanting extra rounds. If we cannot take any vows, chant extra rounds, and in this way get the benefit of Kartik Mass. So with this, I'd like to stop here and hear your comments, or if you have any questions, you're most welcome to present them now. Hare Krishna. Anyone? Kajutha Mataji, let's start with you.
Hare Krishna, dear Mataji. Thank you very, very much for wonderful class. I have a question. If one keeps some money every month from his results of his activities and keeps this money for a visit Vrindhvan, this is like a self-enjoyment or is like for Krishna?
No, it's for Krishna. I mean, it's not sense enjoyment because you're going to use it in the service of Krishna. So it cannot be seen as sense enjoyment because if you're going to go to the dham and you're collecting money for that, then that's fine. You will get the benefit of going to the dham. So it's not sense enjoyment. No.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandava pranams. Haribol.
Yeah. Anyone else? Shamir? Denton? Can unmute?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please excuse me, I'm not feeling all that good. So our chanting, when we chant during Kartik, our chanting is more beneficial. I don't know if the question is right. When we chant during Kartik, our chanting is more, it's multiplied.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's multiplied, but also we should concentrate on the quality of our chanting as well, right? The quality we should try to hear every word of the Maha Mantra. So in that way, our quality becomes improved, right? By hearing, the chanting of the holy name. And somehow if the mind wanders, then bring it back to the chanting of the holy names. The mind will wander, that's its nature. But try and bring it back to hearing the sound vibration of the holy names. Yeah.
And what if for whatever reason you're unable to turn a lamp? Let's say if you are living in a non-devotee's house, or for whatever reason you can't turn your lamp, what then?
Right, so
we can do it
you can meditate upon it. You can do it in your mind that you're turning a lamp to Krishna. So in that way, Krishna will accept your meditation. Yeah.
Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you for that, Mataji.
Navkishori Mataji. Would you like to, you can unmute. Would you like to say something about Kartik Mas? You can unmute Mataji and speak. If not, we go to Nayana Manjari.
Hare Krishna Mataji, dear devotees, thank you for a wonderful class. Very interesting. Mataji, I don't actively do book distribution to spread Krishna consciousness. But what I do is I speak to people and I tell them about Krishna. And then I actually ask them, or I take them to the temple and I show them around the temple. And I've got people now who comes to the temple who's actually taking care of Krishna for the day.
Wow,
and I think I'm making minor progress, but I'm getting there slowly.
Yes, that's very nice. That's also preaching, bringing people to the temple. That's also preaching. So you must also encourage them to come for the Sunday programs and to partake in Prashadam. And every day at the temple, we have a midday class for around 10 minutes after the midday arati. We have a 10 minutes class. So try to encourage them like that. And we have like a, chanting on beads or as well for just like, 20 times around. We have the small beads that they can chant on. So yes, try to encourage them to come for the midday aarti. Try to encourage them to come for the Sunday programs. So like this, they get the benefits. Yes, you're doing very well. Don't worry that you cannot distribute books, but wherever you go, carry some books in with you so that whenever you get the opportunity arises, then you can give someone a book. If even if it means you're sponsoring the books. So
Yes, because that's what I intend doing, Mataji. I intend buying the Bhagavad Gita's and keeping, and some beads, and then because I've already spoken to certain people and they've got the book and they've got the beads, and they're like chanting one round in the morning. I say that's a start for them as well. And slowly from there they can progress. And like whatever questions they ask, I try and answer as to the best of my ability, that what I know. And I like the most important thing is that they don't give up, that what they started, they continue with, and slowly they'll elevate themselves into the movement and progress from there.
That's very nice. Good. So we can do like this in whatever capacity we can preach, we must preach, right? So Jari Mataji, she is inviting people to the temple, which is very nice, and giving them a taste of Krishna consciousness, right? Basically, it's like holding them by the hand, bringing them to the temple, and feeding them Krishna consciousness. That's very nice. Very good. Thank you, Naina Manjari Mataji.
Haribol Mataji, thank you.
Haribol, would Akshay like to say something? Is Akshay there?
Mataji is just busy doing some work, but he actually wants to know, he read that if you offer a lamp during Kartik, you get the benefits of going back to Godhead. Now, his question to me was, what about your last moment before death? He wants to know what's the difference between the two now. If you're offering the lamp and your thoughts at the last moment. He did ask me that question, and I said, I'm not capable of answering that question. I need to ask somebody in authority at Krishna consciousness at the movement who can actually answer that question. So Mataji, perhaps if you can answer.
Yes, thank you, Akshay, for that wonderful question. So yes, if somehow we cannot think of Krishna at the time of death, but we have performed devotional service like turning the lamp for Kartik, or whatever devotional service we may perform, but somehow or the other, it's at the time of death you cannot think of Krishna. And in South Africa, this is so prevalent. People are getting murdered. Just the other day, one devotee was murdered in a house, and like this, there's car accidents. So anytime we can leave our bodies, and sometimes we may not be able to think of Krishna at that time, but all the devotional service that we have done, Krishna remembers, right? He remembers anything that anyone has done for him. He does not forget. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful that he will force himself into the devotee's mind, a sincere devotee at the time, or any devotee at the time of death, and he will actually remind you of himself. So in this way, this is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Mahavadanyaya, right? Krishna Prema Pradayati, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namni Kauritishay Namaha. He's the most munificent incarnation, or he's the most merciful incarnation of this age, of Kali Yuga, and he is giving us the highest benefit of going back to Godhead. So yes, so Lord Chaitanya is very merciful. That is why it is being described by Srila Prabhupada that we should go to Mayapur first, get the blessings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Panchatattva. It's amazing. Those deities are so beautiful and so amazing. It's like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is right there, and the Panchatattva, basically they are right there. So get their mercy, get the mercy of Radha Madhava, before you get the mercy of Lachit, Shamasundar in Radha Shamasundar in Vrindavan. So yes, so try to do like this, and we get the mercy of the Lord, right? Actually, I hope that answered your question.
He's smiling.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for answering my question.
Hare Krishna, you're welcome. Akshay.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Jai Gauranga Das. Haribol, Jai Gauranga. How are you?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm fine, thank you. Can't complain, I'm carrying on this side.
Okay, very nice. Happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you,
And,
Mataji.
yes, and you engaged in very nice service there in Santam. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji, keeping busy that side. Always lot of service.
Yes, very good. Try to engage others also, right, in service.
I will definitely do that, Mataji. Especially now in the Kartik month, there's a lot of service coming in. And yeah, so definitely I'll need the help, and it's very much beneficial for themselves also.
Yes.
So I'll share the mercy.
Yes, now that you listen to the class, you can get more information on how to engage them, right? More basic.
Yes, for sure, Mat. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. If was this Paramatma Prabhu, would you like to contribute something?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much. Thank you so much for inspiring us to do service. It's you mentioned we must do book distribution and Harinam. So we can take your advice and we can, as you said, inspire others. But I think we can also learn by accepting a teacher like yourself, for example. You teaching us that can help us in being humble, or a spiritual master. And we have to hear more from senior devotees, and that will also help us in being humble. Thank you, Maharaji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, so all these points are very valid, and we can apply them in our lives so that we can become better devotees. Now, Kishori Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All good to serve. Mataji, after listening your class, I was also thinking to try to read with 2 or 3 families Bhagavad Gita and Science of Self-Realization. From now, I already asked them, and I'm going to call them my house, or I will go to their house to read these books. Or even Krishna book, I will start to read with them. So they all said yes to me, and I did give them Science of Self-Realization. Bhagavad Gita I did also last month. So they are all still there. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Very nice, Navkishori Mataji. Navkishori Mataji and Kajita Mataji is in my Bhakti Vaibhav class. So, and we see that they're doing very nice preaching. Navkishori Mataji also has online classes, and she's also cultivating devotees from India, actually. So she's doing a very nice service. Right, so all of us are busily engaged in devotional service, Krishna consciousness, and hopefully we can inspire each other to become more and more determined in the practice of Krishna consciousness. So thank you very much to all the devotees. With this will end. Panchakalpa krubhescha kripa sindhubhevcha patitanam pavinebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Gauranga Prabhu, you have your hand up. Oh.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I would like to ask a question. If the devotee wants to maybe talk of Krishna conscious or have a question to me, I usually struggle to find time and actually go sit and talk to this devotee. Is it appropriate for me to send him to other senior devotees? Because I don't have that time sometimes to sit with them and talk.
Yes, you can do that. You can refer him to other senior devotees who have the time to talk and who are willing to, engage him basically in Krishna consciousness. If somehow or the other you don't find joy in that, you can always, post a question to me. I'm more willing to answer you, and then you can pass it on to him. Is that fine?
No, it's more about I don't have the time to actually sit and talk with him or spend time with him because I've got so many things going on there in the day. That's why I wanted to ask if it's fine if I can send him to more senior devotees.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
No problem. Right there.
Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna, you're welcome.
Very good.
Hare Krishna devotees, we'll see you on Thursday. Then we'll start our parikram, right, in Vrindhavan. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
dear
Maharaj.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandava pranams to all. Hari Bol.